Hi everyone, this is Captain B-Rye, and I want to try to explain my strategy for both developing this game in an open style, uh, sharing the demo, running a successful Kickstarter, and ultimately getting the product out into people's hands. So, to start at the very beginning, if perhaps you've seen the first video on this vlog, where I explained how the game is going to be developed in an open style, which means the source code is open, the art is open, and the story is open. Pretty much all the artifacts I can possibly shove into GitHub is going to be open, and that means not just I'm not gonna enforce any IP over any of the stuff I put out there either. So if someone wants to take the art inside of a repository and use it for their own game, go ahead. If they want to use the code, use it for their own game, go ahead. So I want to develop the game in an open style in this manner until we got the demo together. And it's not going to be just like the demo is not going to be just a tech demo. It's going to be a real demo. It's going to be a real slice of the actual game. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to help us have a successful Kickstarter. I think that software Kickstarters really should start with a working gameplay demo, because it shows that the developer has the credibility, the resources, and the dedication to actually build a product. So once we get the demo ready, and again, it's going to be developed in the open style, like I said. Once we get that ready, we'll make it available, and we'll probably launch the Kickstarter. And this is down the road, so it's not going to happen in the next few months. But we'll launch the Kickstarter, and then probably during the Kickstarter, or perhaps after. Almost likely after a successful Kickstarter. Likely after a successful Kickstarter, we'll go ahead and take development offline. So the code base, all the repository up to that point will still be online and available for anybody to use. But I want to go ahead and take development offline post Kickstarter in order to basically so people can't just clone what we have. I don't want to get, 95% of the game done and then just have someone take it and give it away for free or sell it or whatever, because the stuff I put on GitHub, it's totally open. If you want to find some way to sell the stuff I put on GitHub, go right ahead. So I'm almost sort of developing this in a post-IP mindset, in the mindset where IP just isn't. At some point, I think IP is going to be, it's going to be deprecated. It's just not going to be enforceable anymore in any meaningful way. So I'm sort of developing this with a post-IP mindset. And one of the things I want to accomplish with the Kickstarter is, number one, I want to get the game funded enough to actually finish it. And that in itself is going to be difficult. Games like these are expensive. If you haven't developed a game before, it's hard for you to know how expensive these things really are. But usually a good indie game, in terms of total cost of developing one, is going to start at $50,000 and go up. A lot of big indie development games cost on the order of several $100,000. I have a bit of my own money to put into this stuff. Obviously, I can't cover $50,000 worth of stuff. I'm not entirely sure we'll be needing $50,000 for the Kickstarter. I'll probably try to find some way to keep that number much lower, just so we can more likely succeed and get the money that we can. So I just wanted to give you guys a head up, but the big thing I want to achieve on the Kickstarter is I want to have a tier where, okay, so say the game is, and this is totally a number coming out of my ass right now. This is not what the Kickstarter is necessarily going to be. Please keep that in mind. But say the Kickstarter, say we required $30,000. I think if we could have a tier that is some multiple of that, say, I don't know, 5 or 10 times that amount. If we could meet that tier, then I would say, okay, if this tier is met, then this game is free for everyone. Everyone wants to download it, it's free. So basically what that means is I'll be able to make the bit of profit just from the Kickstarter funding and just not even worry about IP. You know, I'll just, and then if we reach that tier, and maybe even if we don't, well, yeah, I guess if we reach that tier, I'll be taking, and the game is released, I'll be taking the source code and the art and everything that we developed offline, putting it right back onto the public GitHub, and now everybody can download the full build of the game. So once we reach that tier, number one, not only is the game free, everything used to build it is totally open, and anybody can use it. If you want to build your own game, if you want to just work the game and make mods, and if you want to sell those mods, do it. Because I'm sort of trying to think about this project in a post IP sense, because I think it's inevitable anyway. So I think that's about what I wanted to go over today. It's maybe these ideas seem kind of crazy. Maybe they seem a little ahead of their time, or maybe they just seem stupid. But I think it's a good model. I think it's a good model because, number one, having development open, developing the demo in an open style, is going to get me basically going to get me some marketing. And because I can't think of any other way, any other non-expensive way that I could do, non-expensive, non-spammy way that I could do marketing for this game leading up to the Kickstarter. So from what I understand with Kickstarters, it's not that you want to have a really great Kickstarter and suddenly get everybody interested as soon as your Kickstarter pops up. More so, you want to develop a community, and then once your Kickstarter starts, then you can bring that existing community to the Kickstarter and have them help you out with that project. So it's sort of a different model. So that's why I'm probably the main reason why I'm developing things in an open style. Another reason is because, and this is more altruistic, so bear with me. I want people to understand that functional programming does work for games. I want people to see that it's something that can improve developers' lives. Again, I won't be able to prove that games work for that functional programming works for AAA games. Obviously, I don't have the budget to build a AAA game, and even if I did, I'd probably still want to build a small little game and just kind of build up from there. So I just want to show people that it works, and and when people finally see that it works, they're going to start adopting the technologies, and those technologies are, I think that's the key to making developers' lives better. I think developers' lives, especially in the game development industry, are just, I don't know, it's basically sweatshop stuff. I mean, from outside the industry, everybody thinks it's like so glamorous and awesome, and everybody's like super high paid, and everybody gets to goof off all day. But that's not the way it really is. It's really not the way it is. So I want to improve developers' lives by helping them understand that functional programming is an option, and it does work. So beyond that, I also think that keeping even if we don't make that tier to make the game free for everyone, I would still like to. I think I would still like to take the full build of the game and make that put that all on GitHub, so people can mod it and stuff. And I think when people can mod the game, they would be more willing to buy the original. But there's some caveats to that. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to just put the whole thing, like if we didn't make the tier where it was free for everybody, I wouldn't be able to just put the whole thing on GitHub, because if I'm trying to sell a version, say on the Apple Store, is that what that's called? I'm sorry, I just totally blanked on that. If I had a version up for like $3 to $5, again, this is not a real number. This is a number I'm pulling out of my ass. For $3 to $5, and then I have it on GitHub for anybody to build at any time, then people can just put it on the App Store and give it away for free. Because that's part of the IP policy I have, is that I don't have an IP policy. It's yours. Once I put it in GitHub, it's yours. It's the wider communities. So there may have to be a balance that have to strike there. Maybe some things will be open source, but some things will have to be sold. Again, and that would only be if we couldn't reach the tier where it can be free for everybody, which I really want to do. I don't want to mess around with IP stuff. I think it's antiquated. I think it's just a pain in the ass. I think if a company came along and started ripping off our IP or game ideas, I think that in practice there's nothing I personally can do about it anyway, right? Because the only people who can get the law on their side are the people who can get the lawyers on their side. And I ain't got no money for that. So, I'll just be real with it. Anyway, just wanted to put some thoughts out there, what I'm thinking. Please give me some feedback if you think some part of the strategy could be improved upon, or even a critique of why the strategy may not work. Sort of a reference. This idea sort of is a combination of two existing things. I'm not totally innovating all this stuff myself. There's the Street Performer Protocol. You can Google Street Performer Protocol. It was something I believe Stephen King used in the series of books, The Green Mile, and I believe Prince used it to release an album or something. And I think their outcome wasn't great, but they did actually make money. And so I'm kind of combining the Street Performer Protocol with Kickstarter, in that once we reach a certain tier on Kickstarter, there's no reason for me to worry about IP. I've already funded what it costs to build the game, plus got funds together to start building the next game. And that's what it's not about profit. It's not about making me a whole bunch of money. It's about paying for this game and paying for the development of starting on the next game. And that's it. I'm probably not going to have any money left over between those two things. So that's what the money's about. It's not about Brian making, or Captain B-Rye making, millions of dollars so he can buy more hats. Right? Okay. So I just want to wrap it up. Sorry I didn't, sorry this was a long explanation, but, again, I'm just kind of winging it anyway. So please, feedback, comments, questions, and you know what? It would be cool. Start liking my videos if you would, because I'm getting no YouTube likes yet, and it might help other people get involved, see that there is some value in what's going on here, and help other people get involved if people started liking my videos. I mean, I know I personally think it's quite arbitrary, this like stuff, but whatever works, whatever gets people interested, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, take care everybody. Thank you for your time.